Alright. So, if y'all didn't hear about it by now, feel I tell you. So, we all know, and some of us love Azealia Banks. Azealia Banks, honestly, the first time I ever heard of Azealia Banks was when she was on Wildin' Out. That was the first time I ever even knew who she was, and I had to go and listen to her music in order for me to find out who she is, who she was at the time. And I thought, honestly, she puts out good music. I think she's talented. I think she's very expressive. I think that she can be a little nutty at times. I saw what she wrote last year on Instagram about, her anxiety and her mental health during the whole quarantine thing. And that was everybody, honestly. That was a lot of people. I know a lot of people felt the same way she felt. Honestly, I was kind of one of those people who, toward the end of the year, was starting to feel the effects of this whole quarantine thing. But only because I had family members who had passed away. God bless, wonderful sister. Rest in peace. But this whole quarantine thing had, is telling all of us to just sit down. You know what I'm saying? So, off of that, saw a video. And I didn't see the whole thing only because I thought it was sick. I thought it was gross. And this is a constant reminder of how much I love and appreciate my mom so much for teaching me how to cook, how to clean, how to take care of myself. Even when I went on the college for 4 years, my mom was sending me recipes. So if all the food that my mom knows how to cook, she taught me. So I really necessarily don't need a woman to cook for me, but I very appreciate it. So to do what Azealia Banks did, bro, I'm sure a lot of guys are thinking in their heads, dog. This is a constant reminder, this is why you cannot eat at everybody's house. Okay, so Azealia Banks dug up her dead cat and put it in the air fryer and made soup with it. And put it on Instagram for everybody to see. For millions and millions of people to see that she dug up her dead cat from her backyard and put it in an air fryer to make soup. What the fuck kind of soup you making out of cat? And I've never heard of anybody making soup out of cat. Now, I don't want to hear nothing about Chinese making Chinese food out of cat, out of mouse. No, this is fucking who the fuck is making soup out of fucking cat? Do you know how sick of a twisted mind you have to even think about going back to dig up your dead pet in the first place. It's bad enough you did that. Like, it's bad enough that you had the thought in your head of eating your cat. It's another thing to actually do it. Like, this is like, I saw the video and my mouth dropped to the floor. Like, I cut that shit video off. I'm like, cause I honestly was like, this is exactly why if I had to cook, I'm gonna cook my own. I never needed a woman to really cook for me, but I love when a woman cooks for me. Sometimes I gotta see what you cooking. I gotta see what you doing. I gotta see how much seasoning you put. I gotta see what you doing. Like that right there, like that tells me all that I already knew. You can't go and be eating everybody's cooking. You can't. Especially if you a dude, who's trying to get to know a chick and she like, instead of going to dinner tonight, let me cook for you. And you don't know her, dog, go back to Azealia Banks. Just go back. Now I'm sure a lot of females are not like that, but dog, that puts like a whole new perspective of, you can't eat at everybody's house, dog. Now, I'm sure a lot of people is probably going to forget in the next few months or whatever, because when summer open back up, if outside is open, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of cookouts and nobody even going to think about that. I'm going to think about that. I mean, that's not going to stop me from eating no Chinese food or nothing, but and I already don't really fuck with soup like that. But for anybody to think about soup and cat together, I've never heard of such thing. I've never heard anybody making soup out of a cat. That shit, dog. People get creative when they're stuck inside, dog. Like, I honestly don't understand that. Like, I don't understand why you would do it and then film it. Like, some things you just keep to yourself. Some people just don't need the internet. You can have a phone, you just don't need internet. You don't need Wi-Fi. Azealia Banks, you're nasty. I don't know if you're gonna get any dick for a while. Honestly. You might have fucked your dick game up. You may not even give out any head. Honestly. That's disgusting.